In this video, we will be running through the procedures to run a test rodeo. We strongly recommend that new associations run a test rodeo prior to the beginning of their rodeo season. This test rodeo is useful for becoming familiar with the system and also as a means to test the outputs. It's far better to discover that something is not set properly, such as payout split formulas during a test rodeo, than on a live rodeo weekend. When running the test rodeo, please remember that the system is live, which is why we recommend that you either use fake members in the test or use members whose emails will go to the person or people who are running the test rodeo. If needed, you can add numerous fake members with the same email address. Also, if you are taking online payments for membership and/or rodeo entries, the payment system is live. The best time to run your test rodeo is after you have worked through our admin user guide and have all your settings in place. This will be a test of your settings as well as a test of the software. Remember that anything that is not working or seems to produce incorrect results is likely a result of incorrect settings, and the support people at Rodeo Producer can provide you assistance to make it right. This test rodeo will test the system from end to end, including new members, adding a rodeo, rodeo entries, editing entries, stock, generating draws, displaying rodeo information on the member side, using the various rodeo tools or rodeo sheets, entering some scores and times, and generating payouts and points calculations, reviewing results, and viewing standings. All right, let's get started. So the first thing you should do is add some new members. We recommend between 10 and 20. More is better because it gives you a little more flexibility, but you can get away with 10. We suggest you do this from both the public side and from the admin side. So from the admin side, you can go to members, set members, and add some new members in here. You can use the add a member button. You can use the bulk add member button. And before you do that, if you wish to really isolate these members from the rest of the system, you can set up a new member type, add a new membership type, and create a test member type. And you can use that to exclude from standings and exclude from results to, again, isolate them from your season. And we can also exclude the test rodeo from the season. So as we said, you'll want to add some new members. And again, you can do this with the add a member button one at a time, or you can add bulk members. We also suggest that you would do this from the member side, which you can get to with Start menu, go to Member View, and then complete the form as if you are a member so that you have some experience with what members will see as well, which will help you support them down the road. Now, we will not go into deep detail about every single step, but we do want to make sure we take you through the steps to do this test rodeo. So next is we are going to add a new rodeo. So we'll go to Rodeo Setup, Set Rodeos, add a new rodeo to the schedule, and we will call this the October Test Rodeo, and we will give it a location, make sure it is assigned to the current season, set your start date. We're going to set this as October 4th. Make sure your entry open date is at least current as of right now and ends sometime in the future. Now, when you are creating your test rodeo, you will want to make sure that you are using settings that you'd use most often, including the rodeo format settings. So if you would normally have a 2-day rodeo, we would want to set those dates accordingly. If it's normally a 1-day rodeo, as we have here, then you would set that up that way. We will ensure to leave these settings as unchecked. This is not a finals rodeo. We will use these settings later, the exclude from rodeo counts and exclude from standings. For now, we want to leave them in place to see the impact of this rodeo as we complete the results. And we will slide by the rest of these settings as they don't pertain to this test rodeo. Now, this is a standard rodeo. We will need to ensure that performance 1 is set to the right date and a reasonable starting time. We can skip past the multi-go formats. And now we're into the events. We do recommend that you limit the number of events in your test rodeo. And what we suggest is a timed event, a team event, and a rough stock event. You will want to set the stock contractor, and we are selecting this one as we know that we do have a number of bareback animals in the database for this. Just as a test, you can put in a note to competitors, and then we save the settings. So we'll scroll down here. We see we have our October test rodeo. We have it all set up to go. We have our 3 events in place. And so now the next step is to add a number of entries. We would suggest adding entries in 2 ways. One is under Rodeo Setup, Rodeo Entry by Admin. This will allow you to enter groups of entries at a time, and will speed up the process a bit. We would also suggest that under Set Entries, there is a way to manually enter members one event at a time, and do that just to test the process as well. So we will start in Rodeo Entry by Admin. We are going to enter into the October Test Rodeo. And as a good reference point, we would suggest that you click on the member list. This will open up in a new window. Here you'll have a quick, easy view of your member numbers, which you will need during the entry. So let's start with members 105 and 111. 105 brings up their name. We will put him into open team roping as the header with his team partner 111. And we'll also put him in bareback. Now we'll take our partner member here, 111, add him as a buddy, and also put him in bareback. Then we can go back to the list, and here we can find, let's take members 108 and 110. 108, and we'll do the opposite role. And we'll also put member 108 in bareback. Then we'll go down here and add 110 also into bareback. And let's go grab us another member. Let's take 123 and put him in bareback only. We have this form set to allow the entry of 4 buddies at a time. You can adjust that to your association rules. We would then hit next. We will get the review, and we will submit the entry. Now you'll notice when the entry is submitted, there are options to pay your fees online. We want to make sure you understand that if you have your Stripe account set up, your payment system is live online, so you probably don't want to process these payments. Just leave these member entries as unpaid so you don't have to deal with refunding dollars. Now we'll go back to our member list here, and we'll take another member, number 122, and we're going to go to Set Entries. We will select the October Test Rodeo, and here we'll see the entries that we've just added through the main member form, and we will add a new entry. And we're picking member 122. We're going into event bareback. There is only one performance. This is not a team event. We hit submit, and now as we scroll down, we will see we have member 122 entered here as well. So continue on with your entries. Make sure you are adding some people to all of your events, including the timed event. And we'll go offline and skip ahead to when we have all of these entries in place. Okay, we're back. And as you can see, we have a number of entries in here: senior barrel racing, open team roping, and bareback. So we have enough entries to allow the draw to show some randomness and to enter in some results and calculate some results. So we have what we need here. So we are currently in the set entrance page, and what we want to do is test a couple of the features. So we are going to go down to bareback here, and we're going to edit one of the entries. During the entry process, our lead member entered the wrong member number, so we're going to fix that and submit. And so as we scroll down to bareback now, we will see this member has replaced 108 has replaced 109. So we are also going to set up the stock. Now in this case, we already had stock in our demo account here. We would suggest that you add enough stock to the stock event that you have set up so that you can run a stock draw. In this case, we have our stock in place already. And if you need to review how to set up stock, we recommend going to the chapter on how to set up the stock database. So we have all our entries in place. We have our stock in place. We are going to use one of our tools here, which is the Rodeo's pre-draw count, October Test Rodeo. And we're going to see that for bareback, we have a count of 11 entries. So we know that when we select stock, we'll need at least 11 entries, plus one more for reride stock. So we'll go to set stock for draw. We'll go to the bareback. We'll make sure we're using the Pine Hill Stock Company. And we have selected 11 animals. We know that we'll need to set a reride stock as well. So we'll just make note of Rain Man here, and that's what we're going to use for our reride. So we'll save our stock, save our selections. We may as well set the reride. Right now, it doesn't really matter whether we set that reride stock at this time or if we set it later. We're going to select the reride stock. We've chosen Rain Man for Performance 1, and we hit save. So now we have all the pieces in place. We have our entries, we have our stock available. We will now generate the draw. We will choose our October competition, initialize the draw, select the rodeo. And because we have a very limited number of entries, we don't really need to assign priorities. We will need to set the max number of entrants by event. And so we're going to suggest that we just set these limits to something we know that will fit all of our entrants. And we have all of our settings in place. We're now going to hit generate the draw. So a new draw has been generated. Following draw placements were made. We can scroll down the list if we wish. It does say all entrants were placed in the draw. The next step from here is to preview the draw. And here is our draw preview for the October Test Rodeo. As we scroll down, we see we have senior barrel racing in place with our assignments, our run order. We have open team roping with our members, teams, and their draw order. We have bareback with our competitor draw, and we have the reride stock in place that we had set. We haven't ran the stock draw yet, so that is why these stock assignments are not there, and that's our next step, is to generate the stock draw. We'll make sure our October rodeo is selected. We see the correct stock contractor in place. We know we have selected the stock required for each event, and we now run the stock assignment draw. And so the draw has ran for bareback. We can go back to draw preview, and as we scroll down, we see senior barrel racing and open team roping in place as they were, and now bareback has the stock assignments in place, including our reride stock. So now that we've verified everything in the draw is the way we'd like it, we will turn this on and we can hit save. We can go to the member view and scroll down the list of rodeos here to the October Test Rodeo. We now see the view draw is available, and this is the same view as we were just looking at, only now it's available to the members. It is shown as unofficial draw, and we can see all the same information here. So some organizations will leave a period of time for their members to review the draw and request changes. Now, we would suggest after you have a look at the draw review here, that just as practice, you make a change, and let's swap around the draw order of our second and third competitors. And let's swap the stock assignments of 6th and 7th. So we go rodeo setup, adjust draws, October test rodeo, bareback, and we scroll down to the list, and we were going to swap our second and third run orders here. So we're going to swap pepper for backdoor and backdoor for pepper, and we submit changes, and we see we have swapped these two, and we have swapped these two. And the reason we do this is simply to give us a little experience making changes and to confirm that everything is working there for us. So we'll go ahead and set this as official, and then when we view that draw again, we will see it now says official draw. And once the draw has become official, we know that there should be no changes to that between now and rodeo day. So we can work on our rodeo sheets, generating the judges cards, the announcer sheets, and the day sheets. And we would recommend you view the videos or read the chapters on those topics, as we won't go through those in detail. And next it would be rodeo day, and the events start and the scores and times start coming in. So we would go to results, enter results. We are in our October test rodeo. We would select the first event in the draw, senior barrel racing, and now we would enter the times as they come in. And then once the event is completed, then we'll hit submit results. So we're going to skip ahead, entering times and scores for all of these events and calculating all of the results. And we have just finished entering the scores for senior barrel racing, team roping, and bareback. And we're checking through the net one of our checks. We have the entry fees. We have the 10% organization admin fee for a net purse of 702. We see that the net purse of 702 pays out or awards points to 10 placings, and the payout percentages are going to be 40, 30, 20, 10. First place points begin at 15, so we'll scroll down and just have a quick look and see if these payouts make sense. So we said we're paying out to 4 places. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're paying 15 points, and in this system we have it set to be decrement of 2, so 15, 13, 11, 9, 7, 5. We had a tie here, so we're splitting some points, and so everything looks correct there. We can look at all of the events under results, rodeo results preview, and it will load up our October test rodeo. And here we see those same bareback results. We have our open team roping results, and we have our senior barrel racing results. So this would be your review here. Now, if you're finding something is incorrect, and for your test rodeo, we would say just pick out something. Let's take member number 120 in bareback, and let's change their money to $75. So we can go to results, review results. We are in bareback. We go to member 120. We change that money to 75 and we submit. And now we can see 75 under total money. Let's go check in the results preview for the October rodeo under bareback for member number 120. And we see we have the money and total money updated after our manual edit. Now, once we've made our little adjustment here, the results are as we wish them to be. We would now be ready to show the results on the web. We go to Rodeo Setup, Set Rodeo, to our October Test Rodeo, and we can change the column for Show Results. We can turn that on, and now these results would be visible to the members on the member side or any spectators. Anybody who is accessing the public side would be able to see that. And if we are comfortable with everything being done, we change this to official. And now that it's official, this October Test Rodeo is now going to be included in the standings. We can go to Results, Season Standings Preview, and we will see the standings are updated up to and including the October Test Rodeo. Now, as this is our demo system, we have some other rodeos in here. So if you were running only a test rodeo, you would find that your season standings and your rodeo results would match. So if you happen to be doing an in-season rodeo as we are, we can now take that test rodeo and actually exclude it from standings. So we're just going to take a look at one of these members that we know won some money in the October rodeo. So jumping back to our results preview, we see member number 115 with winnings of 112 and 50 cents. We see this member in our season standings. So we're going to go to Rodeo Setup, Set Rodeos, the October Test Rodeo. We're going to scroll down here and we are going to exclude this from rodeo counts and exclude from standings. Save the settings, go back to our season standings preview, find our barrel racing, and here we see that those winnings from the October rodeo have now been excluded from the standings. So that concludes the test rodeo, and we would also recommend that in addition to watching this video, have a look at the chapter in our online user guide, and you'll find the checklist for all of these steps in there.